Wife 22F of nearly 2 years tells me 23 meters spark, passion, etc. has never been in our relationship. How do I react to that? We met when we were 14 when I was playing in an out-of-state baseball tournament and instantly hit it off. She helped me through my parents' divorce and I helped her through her sister's death. We talked often about how much we loved each other and have been together ever since. My friends would often say how I would lock myself in my room to talk to her instead of hanging out with them. We visited each other often until I moved to her state when I was 17. We were married in November of 2012, 4 years after I moved. Things were beyond amazing for the entirety of our relationship except for 3 months when I faced a deep depression. We were very sexual, cuddly, loving and inseparable. Most of our time was spent together. In March of this year I started to notice a lack of affection coming from her end, and I was quite jealous of my best friend, who my wife spends a lot of time with and babies. I don't drink alcohol due to having an alcoholic abusive father. They drink together nearly every night and she usually doesn't come to bed until 3 a.m. at the earliest. I usually do not go with them because I wake up rather early to work out and go to grad school. We talked about our relationship after I told her I was upset and she told me that our relationship had zero passion and that she wasn't happy with me. I asked her to work on it with me, help me make it better and that it wouldn't be easy. She agreed. Since then we have not had any sexual contact, have not cuddled, have not held hands, have had 2 dates despite me asking at least twice a week, and have made out once. We have not gone to bed within 2 hours of each other and she has slept on the couch or in my friend's bed a few times. My birthday was last Monday and all I got was a happy birthday. No kiss, no anything. About 1 month ago she told me she doesn't think we have ever had the spark or passion she's talking about. She thought that loving me was enough to get us through anything. Despite all of that I still love her with all that I am. I cannot imagine being without her. She's been my best friend for nearly 10 years, she's been the anchor in my life for just as long. I keep racking my brain to try and understand what she means. But that spark and passion has been there for me. I don't really know what to do anymore. I love this woman, she's the most beautiful person I know, she's the driving force of why I'm in grad school, to provide for her and our, hopefully, future children. She makes me better. I want nothing more than to be with her and it seems like it's sliding out from under me. This my first Reddit post. I don't really have much of anyone else to talk to because my best friend is part of my problem. You guys seem to be pretty accepting and helpful. How do I get the spark or passion back if she hasn't felt it in our entire relationship? Update. Finally found out my 23M, wife 23F, and best friend have been having an affair for 7 months. It's over. This will be long, I apologize. Thanks for your time. I found out on August 18th while on vacation with the 2 of them and a few other friends at a friend's beach house in Florida. My wife was drunk at 11 a.m. and left her phone in the house while she went to lunch with him and I knew I had to take my chance. After reading some crude texts and several I love yous I knew it was over. In the hope of not making a scene I called the girl whose house we were staying at and told her what was going on. I packed my stuff and was headed to my car to drive back to Texas. That's when my wife and friend came up the elevator. They saw all of my stuff and asked what was going on. I simply said I'm going home and after further questioning and some quips and laughs from them blurted out, "I know you guys are fucking." His response, "What the hell are you talking about?" "No we're not." Her response, instant tears. She walked with me to my car and told me that it started in April but she knew she wanted to leave me long before that. That I was a wonderful person and that I'll be happier with someone else. That something between us was missing, and that she didn't need me like she used to. All I could respond with was that she made me the happiest I'd ever been, that she was all I ever needed and that I never needed her, I wanted her. As I go back up the elevator, her new boyfriend comes down nearly in tears and asks if I want to talk to him and all I said was never again. On my way back down the elevator there at the bottom, the homeowner told them they weren't welcome, so in tears he asked me if I would give them a ride back for $300. I laughed, told him, "Every time you fuck her I hope you know I wish you would have pulled the trigger." He had depression issues and was ready to kill himself, but decided not to because I had offered him a room at my wife and I's house to get him on his feet. And because he was my best friend. I then drove 13 hours straight home, called everyone I could think of including both if their parents who I wouldn't hesitate to call mine. When I got home I was packing my things and saw my wife's journal, diary, writing notebook. At this point I don't care anymore, so I read it. She has a story written and dated March 14th about their very detailed sex life. How they would wait for me to go to sleep and fuck on our couch, in my car, in my bed when I wasn't home, in his bed, in our shower, in our garage. Another poem was dated February 2014 detailing how a shadow haunted her but he was her future and her true love. That all she could taste was lips. This was all before I had ever known she was unhappy. We were still having sex regularly up until mid-March. Even had sex twice in very early April. So she was lying about all of that too. All of her friends have abandoned her. I now live with her former best friend, the owner of the beach house, and 2 of her other friends. They've all said their pieces to her and been blocked in the process. I filed for divorce finally on Friday. And my God, does it feel good. I am so relieved to be out of it. I was racking my brain for so long, trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. Turns out I wasn't. Now I'm recovering, slowly, I'm sure. But I now have a sudden strong interest in women. Is it just rebound? I'm not sure. I'm not pushing the issue or anything, and I haven't dated in 9 years, but I'd like to. I know it's still probably too soon, but do I long for it because I've had it and it's now missing? That being said, I'm happy to be single. I enjoy just being me currently, but wouldn't mind someone. I actually kind of feel like our relationship has been over for longer than a month. I mean, I was living a lie for the last 7 months. She promised we would work on our marriage while all she was doing was working on him. But I would appreciate any advice about the future and dating after divorce. I'm kind of worried actually. I feel like no one will want me for that reason alone. How do I go about dating as a divorced 23-24-year-old when I'm ready? Is it as daunting as it seems?